you have. All he requires us or asks for us is to do what is in your heart. Why do you think Jesus rebuked everyone that tried to keep him from the cross? I'm glad you asked. It was the cross that gave him the release to work out of him what God put in him. He said, no man take my life. I lay it down. I have the power to pick it back up. Every year, look at the story. Elkanah would take his family up to Shiloh. They would celebrate a feast. And there he would give out his portions. He would give portions to Peninnah and her children. And then to Hannah, he would give a double portion, a worthy portion, because he loved Hannah so much. But Peninnah, she picked at Hannah year after year, and she taunted Hannah. But you know what? Peninnah names mean woman with rich hair, fruitful. Peninnah was jealous of Hannah because Elkanah loved Hannah so much. Can you imagine women having to share your husband with another woman, living in the same house with her, and then picking at you? And then she did it repeatedly in the house of the Lord? I don't know if I could have stood that. I don't know if I could have. Lord help me. But constantly she made fun of Hannah. And there's some people who are jealous of you. Yeah, I said it. They jealous. They jealous of you, and they constantly pick at you in the house of the Lord. Why they jealous? I don't know. They jealous of you because of the way you look, jealous of what you have, what you drive, what you live in. Some are jealous of your walk with God, and they pick at you. They turn their head, pretend like they don't see you. They roll their eyes at you or walk by you and pretend they don't see you, or they'll stare at you from head to toe. And some of them just try to judge you and dictate what you're going through. Instead of talking to me, you talk about me. Don't talk about me, talk to me. And you know what I thought about? Well, they don't like me, so what? Even if everybody liked me, they still couldn't help me. That brings me to my first point. Remember, I said purpose. And I want you to put A. Recognize your Peninnah. Recognize your Peninnah. Peninnah is a provoker, an irritator, and an agitator. Peninnah reminds you of what you don't have and what you're trying to get to. Peninnah is someone who has arrived and waiting on you to get there. Peninnah is someone who will make you turn your face toward God without calling a corporate prayer meeting. Peninnah is someone who will make you clap your hands and you don't have a praise team. Peninnah is someone who will make you run down aisles and no one told you to. Peninnah can be anything or anyone. It could be you. It could be your lack of praise, your lack of worship, your lack of prayer, your relationship with God. Peninnah is something that will pull you out of your comfort zone. I think sometimes we get too comfortable. It becomes routine. We mess people up because we make them think if they don't do it the way I do it, then you don't have what we have. But you don't know what I had to go through to get what I have. I'm not trying to be like you. I'm just trying to be the best me I can be. I don't want what you have. I want what God has assigned to me. If I don't shout the way you shout, don't mean I don't have it. If I don't bow the way you bow, don't mean I don't have it. What it means is I don't have it the way you have it. But you're not paying what I'm having to pay right now, because you wasn't there when the Holy Ghost thrust me in my living room and told me what he called me to do. So I don't want to be you. Tell your neighbor, I don't want to be you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, the thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. God knows your beginning and your end. Matter of fact, he wrote the final chapter first. So I'm not thrown off by anything that happens in my life, because he's already planned my life out. The devil doesn't do everything, but the Lord will shut up your womb, because he's trying to get your attention. God has no respect of person. What he do for one, he'll do for another. God has no defeat for your life. He may knock you down, but you'll get up after a while. He may knock the breath out of you, but the Holy Ghost is going to breathe on you. What is the panina God has placed in your life? That brings me to my second point. Process. Pray and seek God. Who drove you to the altar? Who drove you? Was it your spouse? Your job? Your children? Your sickness? The church? Your adversary? Who drove Hannah to the altar? Penina. God will ordain your penina to drive you to the altar. He knows how to get you down on your knees. He will allow trouble to come in your life so he can get you down on your rusted, dusted knees and holler, help! Some of you wouldn't pray if trouble didn't come in your life. This is his way of getting your attention. Hannah was childless, not prayerless. We really give the devil too much praise. The devil this, honey, whoo, the devil made me do this. The devil that, whoo, the devil this, the devil that. What about the Lord is God? Jesus is all power. What about my Jesus? Stop giving the devil glory. Hannah bargained with God. She told him, if you give me this child, I'll give him back to you. Have you ever been there? How many times have you said, Lord, if you get me out of this marriage, or Lord, if you send me a husband, or Lord, if you deliver me out these drugs, or if you just get me out of jail, Lord, if you just heal my body, I'll live for you. We make so many promises to God, but we do not keep them. But Hannah did. She kept her promise. She prayed to God that he would take away the cause of her anguish. Her prayer was of a peculiar kind. Hannah prayed. She poured out her soul to Eli. And some of you need to do the same thing. Stop trying to fix it on your own, but give it to the Lord in prayer, and he will make it all right. He may not come when you want him to, but God, he's an on-time God. When you pray and seek God, he will answer your prayer. I know he will, because he did it for me. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn from your wicked ways, and I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and heal the land. I will listen to every prayer made in this place. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your request be made known unto God. Hannah's name means grace or favor. So whatever you're going through, you're going to go through with grace. came to tell you you're going to go through graciously.